Thank you.
We started at 4 o'clock. You don't have to move.
Yeah, thanks.
Saying you ain't got a bug blaster.
That's what you need, look.
Somebody that or something else? No, I was just saying.
Nine rubs. We'll just carry my gag. There's the other one. Oh, cheers, fellas.
Sure. So I'll come back later, yeah?
Yes. It's not about that. It's about that.
using the same tarpaulin with bottom bait, yeah. So you probably want to have a look at something like the stiffies, yeah. So they're 15mm stiffies, £2.50 a pop. Yeah, stiffies and what date are you coming? April. April. Yeah, 6th April. This. Yeah. Take a couple of angles.
Take this.
So the 2.5 you got them only 2 now. Yeah, no. Two.
Well, if you've got 20 of them, I'll have 20 of them.
Okay. Can I have the 3 ounces? Good. Give me 5 of you.
Sorry, can I just have a look? Thank you.
Yeah, mate. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Find out that's ready. It's my Nick Field from here.
Let's go fishing. There's always a prize. It's like, yeah, guys, cheers.
Buy three, get one free. So get one free.
Yeah, the bags. Taking any longer.
So it's on the buy three, get one free. We've got 2 stainless stabilisers, 2 12-inch bank sticks. So the 12-inch bank stick will be free. 25, 25 and 22. So 2 quid. I don't know, can we want to put it into the detail maps, put it into the shit man. But it's not complete shit, it ain't shit. It's very good. Yeah. Yeah. But I still called it a shit man. So I thought it was good.
We've actually just done a collaboration with them, which is a plus. He's a garlic infused.
Experiences, they can tell
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Where's this?
sort of mid Devon.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it's about.
Hi. Yeah, good you?
Yeah, good cheers, good cheers.
Busy?
Very busy.
Very busy.
Yeah. Seen the Park Base range before?
No, I use different bait, but I just
Yeah.
smell.
This is squid, chili, and
Uh-huh.
octopus.
Smells good.
And this is chocolate, orange, and coconut and peanut.
Uh-huh. Smells good.
Thank you. Yeah.
Spicy. What's that? Squid as well?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Use Parker Bank
Oh, sorry.
Just give me an email. Hey, you got any big trips next year?
We're up next year.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What, with Ben?
Yeah, that's it. So that's going to be good with Ben and Toby.
I'm a bit, anything I'm a bit shiny.
Hey, mate, you're
Yeah, good you?
That makes mine look
I saw him over there in the
These
back.
ones here are the new Christmas specials.
Uh-huh.
Like,
So what you get there is they're a popper, they're a wafter. That's the new Christmas flaps
Uh-huh.
one.
well, maybe I am.
Just watch the bottle. People who know this, you'll get it all over your hand. So it's more of a spice bun.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So that's why we call it the Christmas special.
Some cinnamon, I know.
Yeah. So one other thing we do as well, we have our limited edition flat spots here for the shows. But I don't know, have you heard of swim booker?
No, I don't.
Well, swim bookers where you book all your fishing.
I know that, yeah, but I don't think I got it.
Well, if you sign up today to swim booker for a small fee, once you've signed up, they will send you a limited edition garlic and garlic limited edition.
Okay.
Beans.
I'll think about it. Thanks.
No problem, thank you.
Sorry.
I've never seen that colour before, but they do it.
Welcome to the Winter Carp Show. Today's turnout will be limited to
So you've got your four monster crabs, four bait sprays, two of them, yeah? That's all right, no worries.
Was this 4.5 or 4?
They're fours. Yeah, so 2, 3, 4. Then you get a link to our website. It's only Swim Book Plus members all right. No worries, mate. Take it easy. Take care of yourself. Which ones was it, mate? Sorry? 5 and 3 to 5 and 4.
Oh, I think I'll use that.
Take a bit separate, guys. That's all right. Yeah, of course, mate. No problem at all. That's what he does. You don't have to go. That's like you, Tone. I can't wait to see what he comes back with instead of that later. My God.
So all of these in there.
Yeah.
Can I have 5 this one and 5 that one, please?
185 quid. Wow, thank you very much.
5 of this one and 5 this one. Both and 4s, yeah?
Yes, mate. You've got to recoup your 180 quid. Right, you're all on card, yeah? All on card. Yes, mate. I've got 320 quidders. First one, separate bags.
Oh, yeah, one is fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all right. See you later.
That's where he's not married. Tell him that for ages, but he don't listen. Yeah, put the card in there. Okay, let's show to the gentleman here.
Sit in the front of it, you know.
So, you right?
played this one.
Really like, I think nothing to it. Find out about it. Do you need any like? Yeah. So do you deal if you needed any other bits? Yeah, they are quality. Really good.
Absolutely keep your.
Yeah, it's got one of.
So, can you show how this works?
Yes, yes. I'll just have a quick look at Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to see about the spinner anyway.
Have we got a duck any minute?
Basically, it's standalone at the moment, so you get it standalone, which is basically just the speed on the
Ah,
side.
okay. Is it good for every kind of bait boat or just for this models?
This one is ours, so it's for our boats.
Ah, okay.
But you can get them designed, obviously, for
Uh-huh.
bigger boats. What do you have?
No, I don't have. My friend's got it, and he always sending me this link. Oh, I like it. That's why I ask if it's good for some other bait boats.
Yeah, that's all standalone. Again, what we've done, because we've teamed up with these guys that developed it, which is this fella here.
Okay.
And basically, it's just for us.
Right.
And then what we've done is we've said to him, we want it built into a boat.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
wondered. I'm not even going to buy one. I don't want to waste your time. I just wondered because I used to have one a long time ago. I had my second hand, so that's 910 with 2 batteries and then obviously controller. That's very good. I know the prices.
Adding to it, but the good thing is
It can be, yes. What do you want to know for prices for bikes when you're just
It's a matter of trying to get some deals for them there and then. People
So we do a special offer, 16 quid, but they are going to be discontinued.
Oh, okay. Nice.
The new ones coming out, 750, almost identical. Then the new one coming out for next up, like working with us on that, that's going to be a lot more expensive. So we're looking at 16 quid. That's going to be grand on its own. Yeah, you make it by those. And then deal with the consequences later. And the consequences are, when it gets nicked, the knot that you've made in the plate loop is bigger than the internal diameter of the ideal. You can't physically pass through that. But during presentation, the knot.
And everything.
Once you get used to them, if you've got 3 or 4 of them, then they're not too bad.
I'm curious about these.
How much is the bigger one?
Oh, Gardner GT8.
what I've got is down there. Got a box.
You want to swap?
Yeah, it might be worth it.
I'm surprised there, mate.
Would have £12, I would have had it.
What is it?
Well,
And you want what?
15.
Not if you got to be a fisherman to bring it in on 12. Then you've got to use a bit of style.
What they make you use on my syndicate, unfortunately.
Is it?
It wasn't rubbish, because it goes a bit faster. And they do check it. He's just got the little.
Is it?
They do a random one.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, I'm not a carp fisherman. I've been fishing, but I've never. I mean, you can't. You're a different breed to the fisherman I am. No, I mean, I like a bit of fishing, but not that bingy whacking and. No.
It gets you whacking wishes for a few days.
Well, I ain't gonna worry about that no more. Pass the silver, mate. Yeah, sure, of course you can. You can have them for, well, it's 4 like that. 5, did you say?
Weigh the bags.
Yeah.
Dave, will you weigh the bags? No.
Lovely, thank you.
You know it's good, yeah. Are they ready to go boom?
Yeah.
No, so I don't want them for a few minutes.
But you can cut them off.
Yes.
Oh no, you can't.
You can't see what they're already on there.
Attach it.
Your own booms, isn't it? Is that subsonic, right?
Half the mark, oh, you've done that. Oh,
Coming again.
It's the old man now trying to
I
find
used to
something.
be like that coming again, but that's gone past the silver date in that sense, I'll tell you that.
You went now.
But we all run away with it now. I'm a good salesman, but lucky that can't deliver.
Good material, isn't it?
Half the mark price, mate.
I like them. I'll try them ones.
Is there any chance you've seen a anti-tango sleeve, long one?
Tenner?
No.
Long one.
Yeah.
No, I saw them down.
You can. I think they were.
Yeah,
I
I did see them earlier.
Yeah, I'll take good look at that.
I saw them earlier.
You'll see that good.
They've all gone.
Maybe.
Smooth stuff, though, isn't it?
What
I still got my puppy
is
dog
it?
looks.
Hoodie.
Sex symbol all my life, and it's been hard to live up to it.
If you believe that, you believe anything.
Ah, but the thing is, because you make my day.
Right, that's beat me lot. Yeah, mate.
You're done there, are you?
What are you doing for that, mate?
No, stop it. Don't rush me now. Please forgive me. Let me go. Yes, 750 and 4 and 1150, and there's 2 of those. Oh no, they're not the same thing, are they? Oh, right.
Tenner?
Leave me alone. That comes out 4 quid. 4, it's not 4, 8 and 7. 15 quid, mate.
There you go, mate.
Thank you very much. Kevin. Oh, please for this good looking man with all the salt. Give him a slap if he keeps out.
Nice one. Cheers. Nice
Thank you
one.
very much.
Good day.
And you have a good day.
Yeah. You can have a, yeah, speak to me. Oh, actually.
Yeah, just looking around. Ooh, it's really light. How long the battery lasts?
We'll tell you when it runs out.
I don't have that much time, I guess.
No, we've had that one running all day. We've gone from 4 bars to 3.
Oh, okay.
So that's been over 2 hours now.
2 hours.
So that one I've been using in my own fishing.
Uh-huh.
Still on 4.
How much they are? Can I...
We've got 499 for that one. 799 for the GPS.
Uh-huh.
1199 you get the GPS and a fish finder.
Oh, okay. I'll take one. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, yeah, probably.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good.
I
You?
watch your videos, man.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's sweet.
You know, where's Paul, man?
Hello? How much these are? 100.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's fine. How much do you have? Do you have this system for sale?
That's the only one I've got.
Ah.
So if you do want it, you can buy it, and I'll leave all the pellet in it 'cause it's a demo one. But if you really are after one,
How much we?
it's £50.
£50.
two little ones that go on top there.
Uh-huh.
And then you've got your larger components. You get your bags with it as well. And then underneath, obviously, that one sits next to that.
Oh, I see.
So you've got another one in there. The divider comes out if you want a divider. You just want it as one large one.
Uh-huh.
The shape of them is curvature, so when they're both together, you just push on it and it slides up.
Oh, that's
that
nice.
To get it out. But yeah, that's our very last. It's a demo one, so if you really do want one, we can. I'll just leave the debate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks, very kind. Thank you.
Okay, no worries, thank you.
It's £20 for those three, mate. Get your bag.
That's all right.
All there.
You can literally, it's like a huge, such traction in those magnets in those holes.
Hopefully this time next year you'll be able to get that motor and the gear.
Tiny little battery. Yeah. No. No.
I may
Do you feel like it's like, have you got brakes on your hand?
Is that the same one? I'm gassed up. Of
course, yeah. Were you involved in Carp in the early days or before? Or no? They lost interest, didn't they? They kind of, you know.
it seemed like everything that goes.
Hey.
Right?
Yeah, good. You?
Yeah, from Bridge Nice.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, good. You?
He'll be caught in almost any weather. But B, that sense of satisfaction just feels so much higher when, you know, there might be a frost around you, might be snowing, a bitterly easterly wind coming across, but that is all forgotten when you look back at your pictures or when that bite alarm goes. So if winter fishing's not for you, and it really isn't for everybody, I still don't think it should be like an endurance challenge. You shouldn't be out there just because I'm telling you to go out there. If you get the right clothing on and you make the effort, you go to the right venue, get out there and, you know, get a few cold water bites. You can't beat it. A few of you might remember this one. This was the first of the year of the Spooner and Dovey. We did, it was a Dovey and Spooner, wasn't it, versus Raysbury. Got invited to Dovey Syndicate for the first time ever. Like, I've taken him to so many places and he just never reciprocates. And finally, I think, not because he wanted to, I just get the thing he felt guilty that I've taken to so many lakes over the years. He said, come on, I've managed to get you a guest on Raysbury, which is unheard of. He'd not had his ticket very long. But the guy very kindly says, because we wanted to film a video together, he said, you know, 48 hours, see how you get on. Now, Raysbury, obviously back in the day, is one of the most historic lakes that the UK's produced. It had the world record with Mary, some iconic carp over the years, but all of those originals gradually died away and something had to be done. So the new owners took it, it didn't make everyone happy, but they split the lake into two. I think it was 120 acres originally. I think now you've got something like a 70 and a 50 acre lake. So two very big bits of water. One of them's been stocked as a bit more of a, I hate the term runs water, you've still got to catch them. There's more carp in there per acre than the other one. But the other one, the one that Dovey was on, less carp, bigger carp. You know, they're still seeing the same amount of bait with less mouths to feed, they're growing that bit quicker. So we knew there were a lot of biggins in there. Dovey's already had a few out of there. So we set the team target at £35. Certainly achievable, but by no means was it going to be an easy thing to do again. It was still very early in the year. The area that we ended up choosing, I got there a bit late, as Dovey gave me loads of grief for on the video, if any of you have watched it. I didn't know whether to believe him or not. I've got there, he said, we're in these two swims, and he said, I don't know why, he said, but I'm putting you in the swim that he'd seen all the action. I'm like, what? He's like, no, honestly, there's that swim I've seen like, with Lou, he said 3 or 4 fish. And I'm like, why are you not going in there? He said, I don't know, I really fancy fishing that island. Something didn't seem quite right, so I stood in the swim, Dovey's come up behind me. I went, where have you been sitting? And he went, and as he went like that, he went about 90 yards, one literally showed exactly where he said. So, all right, I believe you, that'll do. Now, what he didn't know, in his defence, was just how weedy that area was. So, when you've got carp in front of you, what you ideally want to do is find a spot quickly, get some bait out, so you're fishing with the minimal disturbance, the most minimal disturbance possible. That wasn't going to be an option. I reckon 40 casts later, I finally found a small area that I felt I could get a couple of rods on. So I kind of resigned myself to the fact that it was going to be a bit of nighttime action. So once I found the spot, I didn't rush too much, had a good let around, got some rigs out, and then put a bit of bait out. A nice mix, sort of normal mix, bit of worms, some crushed tiger nuts, boilie, and sweet corn. So I've got nice, not loads out there, because even though there's a lot of big carp, it was still very early in the year. The water in front of me was very, very deep. So I'll probably put 15 or so spots out. Not a great deal, but enough. If they turn up, I can keep them occupied for a little while and hopefully get a bite. And a bite we did. 2 in the morning, if I remember rightly. The swim itself was, I thought I was asking for trouble again, because your rods are down quite low and you're up really high, so you've got a set of steps to deal with when you come straight way out your bivvy. I think it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. I got an absolute one-time. You know, you get one of them bites where you're a bit wary of picking up the rod, it's going that quickly, and it didn't stop. I picked the rod up, Lewis is very quickly next to me, and it is just stripping, and I'm going to him, this is one of these, it's just going to come off. Is there catfish in it? And I said, I don't actually know the answer to that question, but as far as we were aware, it could only be a carp. And the dream was, as Dovey once did to me many years ago, I took Dovey for a guest on one of my syndicates, and he caught the one fish that I wanted to catch, single scale. He wanted to catch a fish out there called the Posh Sutton, so everything about me was just willing it to be that one carp, just so I could rub it in his stupid face. That wasn't meant to be, and you know, that's fine. But once I eventually turned the carp, I think I was fishing about 100 yards in the end, and I reckon it took 40 or 50 yards line on its first run. You'd get it back almost where you hooked it from. It would take off again. I'm going to lose. It's got to be decent. It's absolutely destroying me. Then it did a massive kite round to the right towards where Dubby's fishing. And you remember, Lou, we heard his alarm go, didn't we? And I'm like, oh no, he's going to hate this. It's 2 in the morning. I've hooked one. I'm now about to wipe his rods out. He's fishing at 32 wraps under a bush on an island. So I could have ruined his night's fishing. As it coincided, it wasn't. He had a bite at the same time, didn't he? Anyway, we played this fishing. Now I've just got it wallowing around in the margins. The netting was all good, went in first time. We're looking down at it. We could tell it was very, very possible that it might do the team record, the team target. So we got W out of bed. There's a strict no retaining rule on Raspberry, so we didn't, we weren't there to break any rules. So we literally, I've got it in the net, gone to wake W up, zeroed the scales, and it was nice not only to get the first bite, but it was nice to beat the team target. Only just for 35 ounces, my one and only Raspberry carp. I hope to get to go back at some point because it's a very cool lake. Second night for me passed pretty quietly, and I've not got a picture of it, but Dubby just got the gut feeling that they'd moved from that area, and he knew a spot down the far end. He went down there, I think he had 3 fish, did he, Lou? I think he had two decent 20s, but he said, I've just got a gut feeling I'm going to go down there and catch a big one. And the bigger he did, he caught 43 pounders. So you're going to have a chance to watch that. I've just absolutely ruined it for you. It's like watching EastEnders, knowing what's going to happen. But it's still a very good watch. Spooner and Dubby versus Raspberry. I'll skip by this one a little bit quickly. Again, it's another bit of film. A lot of my fishing, I don't get lots and lots of time to target carp that I really want to catch like I used to because work comes first. When your work's fishing, I'm not moaning about it. This was a lake that I wanted to go to with Lou. We spoke about it before, the year before. It's called Pump House. It's one of the embryo waters. It's just got a stock of incredible carp. But I had a bit of a dream session out with John Kneebone from Mainline. So again, this is all available to watch on, this one's on the Mainline YouTube channel. From the get-go, I put a lot of bait out. I knew where the fish were. I could see them cruising around behind this old pump house. So I think I put 20 plus spots of bait out. And it was just when the new isofish boiling was about to come out. So I was using the 10 and the 15mm boilies, the pellet, the ground bait, the smart liquid. It's all of the filming. You're talking about what you're using. Mainline were launching this bait, and as part of my role, it's about marketing lots of different products. So the quarter side of it, if you like, took a bit of a backseat. You know that I'm going to be using a spinner rig on a running leg clip, probably. But this was really focusing on that new bait that was coming out. Now these fish wouldn't have seen that bait before, so I fished that lake and done very well on cell, sweet corn, but we were going there with this isofish approach. So I put 3 rods out over the top of all this bait, let the line settle, and had a bite within seconds. And I think the first bite, I think it was that one, I think it was 26 pounds, so perfect start. But the trip just went from strength to strength. I think we did 2 nights. In the end, I landed 14 fish. I've got a few more of them here. But of the 14 fish, 3 of them were over 30 pounds. This was the first 30 pounder at 32.4. Really, really lovely carp. Then one of the very big ones in the lake, that was 35 pounds. But ended up with 3 30s, 3 fish over 29 pounds as well that didn't quite make the 30 pound mark. But what's that? That's someone else's medallion. What is that one all about? Where's that even come from? I did this slideshow, and I don't know where it's come from. I do. But, so yeah, the mega trip, and it felt like the start of the year was going so well. I just couldn't. It felt like I couldn't put a foot wrong with feeding plenty of bait, the waters I was going to, and catching some nice fish along the way. So a great start to the year, and it carried on. Berners Hall, I don't know if a lot of you are familiar with it, but it's a mega day ticket lake in Essex. It's very, very hard to get on nowadays because I think it's 24 acres, the lake, 47 different known 40 pounders, 3 different 50 pounders, goodness knows how many 30s, and it is very, very difficult to get a booking. There aren't actually that many day ticket lakes in the Essex area. So over the years, I've fished Berners a lot. Before it had all those big ones in, when a lot of these big ones were babies, that's when I was fishing it. I was going up there in the winter, having the lakes myself. And again, like I was saying, with the right preparation on the right lake, winter fishing can be easy. I was going up there, putting a bit of bait in before my trip, coming up 24 hours later, and and just flicking out singles into the area and getting 3 or 4 bites a night in some of the coldest of weather. But as they've got bigger, like I said, it's been so hard to get on, I've not done that much time. And a very unique opportunity came up. Again, I was going fishing with my mate whose syndicate I fished earlier on. We didn't know where we were going to go, probably Norton Disney. And I saw that Total Carp, who run burners, they put a post up saying the lake was going to be shut for the next week for weed cutting, but it's only really one half of the lake that's got the problem. So we've got 10 spaces. So I quickly run Callum, who runs the booking, to suggest, put us in for 2 spaces, we'll have a go at that. Got down there on the Sunday night when it was very, very busy still. Every swim bar, about 3 were taken, but we knew a lot of them had to leave in the morning. So we got into a decent looking area, hadn't seen any carp in front of us. We knew they were mostly down the other end, but it didn't matter because the other end was going to be shut anyway. So it's not like we could go there to fish. So same again, I went with a tiger nut and sweet corn approach on this one because I know how much boilie they see, but I know how many carp I've caught on that lake on sweet corn. So I wanted to put plenty of that in as well. And the plan was get the first night done, hopefully see some fish down this end of the lake. We might get a chance to move on to them. We didn't really know. We had 3 nights ahead of us. So the first night was like a dipping your toe in, see if we need to move the first night and go from there. First night's come round, I'd seen 4 fish all morning, right over on the far side. And as people were packing up, I said to Patrick, I said, right, we probably need to think about moving over to that side. And as we were talking about it, right hand rod, 3 rods fishing on the spot, right hand rod just pulled up slowly. And I was doing battle with this carp. Now, the weed was still quite bad down that end, and the fish didn't rock solid for quite a while, but eventually got it moving. Andy, the owner, was there as well, so he's come round just as I've netted it. Couldn't tell how big it was, because I've netted like half of a Canadian weed bed as well, so I quickly stripped all that away, and I was faced with a very, very nice carp down in the bottom of the net, and that one was 40 pound 4 ounces. So all the years I've fished burners, I've had fish up to 34 pound in all that time, and only ever, I think, 2 30-pounders. So I think it was May. To get another 40 pounders so early in the year was obviously a very, very nice thing to happen, especially from a lake. I've spent a lot of time out in very cold weather catching lots of small carp. But I didn't have lots of fish that trip. It was only, I think the morning spell was definitely the one. I had that one at just over 40 pound. The next bite I lost, had a hook pull the following morning, exactly the same time, same battle. Unfortunately, it came off 3/4 of the way in. When you're fishing a very, very weedy lake with barbless hooks, unfortunately, that's one of them things, it happens. But the next bite was another good, and that was 38 pounds. I was then on the phone with Dovey when I had the next bite the following morning. That was a really, really nice common of 32. But I was actually talking to him, and as I'm on the phone, one showed just behind me spot, and he was fishing somewhere else. I think he was probably on Braesbury. I'm like, oh, Dovey, one's just shown just behind me. He's like, I'll keep you on the phone, you might get a bite. And as he said that, the same rod's pulled up tight again. And I went to hang up, and he's like, no, leave it on. So I brought my phone, and he's literally on loudspeaker the whole time, just listening. And he's going, hope it falls off. Hope it's a big one. Hope you see it, it falls off. Honestly, he's horrible. Absolutely horrible, which is why I think his hair's falling out. By the way, something I do like to do, every single show that I do when Dovey's not here, anyone that's on social media, if you could please just send him a message saying, good luck in Turkey with the hair transplant. We do it every time. And then I just get a message from him absolutely furious later on. So if anyone's on Instagram or Facebook, Instagram is more likely to see it, please send him a message. Anyway, it didn't fall off, it was another 30 pounder, 32.6 I think it was. One more bite from that trip and another good at 37 pounds. So it is a bit of an advert for Burners Hall. If you do manage to get the chance to get yourself booked on, me and Dovey have just booked on for 48 hours in a couple of weeks' time, so they've had a booking drop out. So, as the saying goes, you've got to be in it to win it. It's not going to be easy in the depths of December with the wind that we've got coming in and the cold weather. Wrap up well enough, have a bottle of Baileys in with your coffee, we'll get through just right. We went back to Berners. This is the young lad I take fishing every now and then. His dad is a friend of mine. He's got no interest in fishing whatsoever. He obviously knows I quite like it. So he said, if ever you get the chance, can you take Patrick out? And because of that success on that trip at Berners, a couple of spaces come up on the Berners pairs match. So we entered the qualifier. As always, I still am absolutely rubbish at draws. I think there's 12 15 pairs. We came out 14th. So utter rubbish. 2 swims to choose from, but one was a swim that I knew really well. And whilst it was really, really weedy, I said to Patrick then, I said, well, not only can we catch out of here, I think we can qualify because the top 5 go through. Realistically, because the conditions on Burners with thick weed, I said if we land 3 or 4 carp over the trip, we'll probably qualify. And it was another trip where, like I said, when I fished it all them years ago, there were no big ones in there, but I always caught quite a few. And this trip sort of carried on in the same vein as the one I was up there with him earlier in the year. We didn't catch loads, but everything we touched turned to gold. I think this was, we had a 36, we had a 37, that was the 37. But this is without doubt the best thing that could have happened. We were catching them either on zigs or on the surface. You had to be relentless with how you were putting the mixes in because the wind kept changing. I knew where the fish were, but you were trying to sort of cast beyond them in your allotted amount of water, get the wind to bring the mixes into an area you could actually fish for them. I caught a couple. Patrick had tried as well with no success. And we got to the point in the match where we knew we'd qualify. We knew it was top 5. We were sitting pretty in first position. So even, we'd have been very unlucky by this stage to sort of not qualify. So I said to him, next one's yours. Whatever happens, the next one off the top is your bite. And I was explaining to him, a lot of the time you hear the same, when they're pack-manning, that's when you fish. When they're eating every biscuit in sight, that's when you cast out. Burners is a little bit different. Because of the wind, if you saw one fish take a mixer, you cast beyond it, got your rig as close to where it took as possible and hope that it would be your mix that it took next. It would probably take 3 or 4, then they'd drift off again. And bless him, he tried 4 times. He'd done absolutely nothing wrong. A fish would take, rod in position, tweak it back, see where the next one was taken, tweak it in position, and the bite just didn't happen. He's cast out, needed to go to the toilet, so he passed me the rod. I've seen a mixer taken, got it into position, and as he's literally walking back into the swim, the hook bait disappeared. I've struck. I'm like, there you go, Patrick, that's yours. He's like, it doesn't feel right. I didn't strike it. I went, no, but I said, you cast the rod. You would have been in had you not had to go to the toilet. It's all yours. He's playing this fish in. Now, my biggest fish off the surface over all the years I've been carp fishing, I think is 33 pounds. And this fish, as soon as when the surface erupted, I couldn't tell how big it was, but I had that first lunge. It was very, very powerful. So I thought it might be big. I didn't think it would be quite this big though. And I'm out in the water waiting to net it. There's a big band of weeds, so I'm trying to just get the other side. And it's just plodding up and down the margin. And basically, as it's just come through, it's come up once, I've managed to lunge, get a wader full of water, but get it in the net first time. Bit of weed on there, stripped that out. I'm looking down at it. I went, Pat, I said, I've been carp fishing since before you were born. I said, but your surface caught PB is definitely bigger than mine. And that thing was 39 pounds, 6 ounces off the surface. Just look at it though. What a mega, mega carp. But the smile says it all. You know, he's a 13-year-old lad. Absolutely loves everything there is about that carp fishing. And it's so nice to get that younger generation. It's lovely to see so many youngsters in here and at the show. That is what, that's kind of what the aim of Monster Carp was, to try and get a new audience in that perhaps hadn't even thought about going fishing. When we can get youngsters to enjoy it as well, I'd say that's mission achieved. But we'll keep doing it and keep trying to get more people. Now, I've only got a few minutes because I am very good at waffling. Have we got any questions? Yeah, good question. Now that I use all of the different, we sell flavoured according to our order. We do a squid, we do an IB, citrusy, banoffee, but I still soak mine in goo. The goo, one of the thin supreme goo still permeates it. Something like the isotonic in particular, which just cuts into absolutely anything, just gives it that extra bit of oomph, if you like. That vlog I'm talking about, my whole pot of all my plastics were all soaked in isotonic. Because it just gives me that, it's no secret I use a lot of goo in my fishing. I like to make my hook bait stand out, and just giving it that bit of extra pulling power just helps make the focus on the one you want to pick up. I didn't. I I was replacing the hook on the spinner rig and putting the same hook bait back on. There's nothing wrong with it. It's the same as when you took it out of the pot. Any more questions? None. Q&A's only work if I get a bit of help. It had to happen, didn't it? Right, can I just have hands up, please? This could make me look really bad or really good. I don't know. Hands up, who's caught a UK 50? Thank you. Firstly, very well done. Fantastic. You were the only one. But this is I'm getting grief for not having caught a 50-pounder. A 50-pounder, that is a massive, massive carp. And I've had nothing but grief. Reed's caught one, which he flew, that's all you hear about. Damo and Dovey, all right. Damo's one of, well, the both of them. They're two of the very best anglers I've ever had the good stroke misfortune of fishing alongside. But to get grief for not catching a 50 is hard. So in answer to your question, pal, no I haven't, right? Right, I'll do one more question if there is one more question. Go on, mate.
Obviously, so having watched over the years, like...
Tell you how?
You've got more hair.
Yeah, no.
Obviously, know that your go-to rig is a spinner at university, but I've also seen that you are partial to use a PVO bag. When you use a PVO bag, what rigs are you using in there?
So, I have had a play around with trying a spinner on braid, like a spinner swivel. Just didn't find it as effective as my go-to, so I use 2 rigs inside my solid bags. Hook link material is always the same. Supernatural, 18 pound in either gravel or weed green. If I'm on a barbless only water, then I'll use a size 6 or size 4 crank. If it's a barbed water, I prefer to use a long shank X in a size 8. So yeah, they're the 2 rigs. 4 to 4.5 inches, often with a slow sinking bit of maize as the hook bait. And I think that's all you really need. I almost think that the hook bait is almost unimportant. As long as it's got a bit of buoyancy, those carp are coming in on a little pile of bait, they engulf the whole lot. So if there's a bit of buoyancy, it's going to go further back in the mouth and hook them. Right, I've gone over my time. I just want to thank you once again for everyone coming along. Always lovely to do. I'll be back at the stand for the rest of the day. If you want to come over and have a chat, I'll be there. Thank you.
20 minutes reviewed, so you're not far from home, all that sort of thing. Lots of different lakes, lots of different accommodation, kid friendly, family friendly, dog friendly. So yeah, we cater for everybody.
Oh, nice.
All right, and yeah, we're doing a little discount if you book between now and the end of January. Use Winter Carp Show as a discount code, get 10% off your booking as well.
Okay, thank you. I'll have a look.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Take care, man.
Slow down, we've done it slowly then. Slow down, we've done it slowly. Harry, where are you going?
Oh yeah, good, you?
Ever watched anything that Roger Bacon does? So, he made a funny, he calls it the bacon rig, and it's really odd rig. Years and years ago, we had, we were getting a tube in the back, putting plasticine on the end of the tube, and sucking and blowing it, and he still does it now.
Twin wheel. Oh, yeah, I know. I'll catch up later and see how well it goes.
Where's the queue? Sorry. That was good.
What was the prize if you get it in? You get by the raffle. Free raffle, your choice. You're more than welcome to come back and have a look. Alright, cheers, mate.
Can I try? How many times I could try?
3 times. So 4 people at the rim, and 1 person started.
Next time.
It's so fast.
Richie's banded on Carp.
Okay.
Richie, our fishing owner,
They, what, they banned worms?
banned worms from last
Blend
week.
them up.
Pardon?
Blend them up.
No, people won't on there.
They're not.
And the reason he's done it, he said it's the price for people that they have to pay.
Yeah.
And once they're on it,
Yeah, good view.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. Same as maggots.
yeah, if you look at barriers down here,
That's bright.
Alright, I'm out there.
Can't see now.
These are wave headlights, so you push it on a night. It won't do it in here. Oh, it will.
Ah, yeah.
It's got the wave, you know, thing. That's a lightweight on your head.
That's really bright.
Amazing session. 20 odd fish.
Yeah, they're good. Too long.
Couple of 50s, loads of 40s.
It's really nice. How much is it?
Tenner today, Joe.
Oh. I might come back. Thank you.
Have a smell.
Oh, smell.
Was hindering rotation. You can up and lower the bead for a smaller bait, a single caster. You can go down to a size 10 hook. That is my rig of choice. That's what I use. That's what I used last weekend. Exactly that. That's all. The bottom bait 20 hooks.
They're 22 for them. There's no. That's just. Oh. It's nice, isn't it? Something different, isn't it?
bag. What flavour is that? Is it just Coffins?
Yeah, just Coffins Carp.
Yeah, can I get a bag of that? Can I do it on card?
£20 minimum spend.
Got two bags. So you find your pick part of this website and sell fusion. My dad's coming in a minute, so I can go put this Can't beat enough, mate.
Just going to have to hold on 2 seconds. Come out with the card.
Oh, that's such a bargain. Do you want to take some? Let me get this. I'm going to go and bring back some. You will see what It's got nothing's going anywhere. No, wait, turn right. Oh yeah, the exit over here. You're thinking me around the other way.
That was Zach on the phone.
Yeah, good. You?
Yeah, not too bad. Have you seen our products before?
Not really. I mean, I heard about it, but
Yeah. Do
haven't
you use
really.
tubing at all?
No.
Leader?
No, I don't.
You just be straight through.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all right. Let me show you some other stuff then. Our hook links. Right. Crush this up. And if you're going to pull that out your tackle box, you're going to think, I hate it.
The fluorocarbon?
Fluorocarbon. But if you pull it under tension, instead of steaming it or rubbing it up against your leg,
That's nice. Feels stiff. It's nice.
the nice thing about them is that we do them on spools of 20 metres instead of what a lot of people do at 10. So we're doing 2 spools for 15 quid. So you're going to get 40 metres of fluorocarbon for 15 quid. Yeah. We do 3 different breaking strains, 15, 20 and 25. I like the 25 because it's a bit more stiff. They fall off easy. Yeah.
They're nice. Thank you. I'll walk around, look around. Cheers. Sorry, man.
Got the hook pullers either end. Gentle pressure on your back. Nice and easy.
Is that in there? That is in there?
Yeah. There's 64's the biggest that's been recorded, but I think we haven't changed that way.
How are ya?
The small bits at the front, 50%. Where is he? Everything that we got is there, yeah. So we got no fault. We put everything in. It's all brand new stuff. You want a reel to go with that rod, and you get nothing. Yeah, I just fucked it, you don't need it. All half price, yeah? Anything you got? All half the market price. Yes.
What you got? Go on. No rush, take your time. We're not going nowhere.
No, you busy? A baiting pole. Is there? You've got the baiting pole over there still?
Only an extension.
Oh?
An extension. Only an extension? Yeah.
No,
Well, we've got baiting poles. No, we've only got the extension one. No, we've got baiting poles. I've got them. I know we've got them. I know. No, they're not. You don't quite us. I know. So you call them?
No rush, mate, no rush.
Yes, we have. I've never seen a baiting pole before. I mean, I put a little cap on the end of a section. Don't worry, they're just round the corner. We had so much gear here, we couldn't press the
No, you can see all that all good. Right, so let me put my phone down so there's no interference. Cheers. Normally I get a phone call saying halfway through. So actually you're going to get to see some very, very unique footage from the brand new series of the Ground Fishing Adventure, which we've changed the format. I think I sort of said it last year when I did some talks. I got pretty bored of making similar style television. I think there's so much great content out there. You sport on YouTube, you sport on social media. So actually, we did the Ground Fishing Adventure finale last year where Bobby caught the big one on the twig, it was on the front and blah, 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 history is history. And that was a bit of a format for what we wanted to do for the future and take it forward, because I think, I mean, if you put your hands up in the air, I think everyone loves underwater stuff. Yeah? No one's got any hands though? Just a few of you? Yeah. Fantastic. A lot of amputees in here. So what I want to show you is some of the amazing stuff which is yet to come on telly. It was due to go on television, start, because it's a bit of a unique contract. I've agreed with ITV that we can play a TV version on telly and then put an extended cut for the anoraks here, okay, on YouTube as well, which will also mean more people get to see it quicker globally. And there's actually some very interesting stuff in this that you'll be able to take away today for your fishing, which will hopefully make you think a little bit. So the first clip, before you play it, there's a bit of a backstory to this. So the new series I do with, there's a guy in the room here, he's got very shiny teeth. We call him Turkey Teeth. Look at the geezer at the back, Rue Abbott. So Rue has been with One More Cast pretty much since we started as a sponsored angler. And a bit like we did with Spooner and Dovey, they came on Monster Carp, became, you know, big names. It's really important to bring people through, because the last thing I want is the brand One More Cast to be known for me. I want it to be known about for a community. So having Rue involved is really important. Also, obviously up till now, the series has been done with Bobby, and everyone knows Bobby. Now, what can I say about filming with a footballer? I found it with every athlete I've filmed with, they are very impatient, right? So if it doesn't happen, and then there's an underwater camera involved as well, they are really impatient. Now, I'm going to show you a scene here. We went to Grenville, which Land of Monsters, and the reason we filmed at Grenville for this new series is because there's a chance of catching the British record, okay? That'd be good, wouldn't it? Imagine catching the British record on an underwater camera for the world to see. So there is a fish in there that is potentially British record stuff, and often we do say patience is a virtue in fishing, and we do two different types of underwater filming now. We do live cam, which you'll see clips of, where we are able to view what's happening live, and then you've got spy cam, where you cannot see what's happening live. So it's almost like real fishing. Yes, I do have a human bait boat at times that swims a rig out. I love the human bait boat. Who wouldn't love it? Anyone out there wouldn't like a human bait boat? It's the best thing. You like a human bait boat, wouldn't you? I love it. Luke, the human bait boat, I've spoken about him a lot. So this clip, I'm going to play it out. I don't think there's any audio over this one, is there really? Yeah, try it. So there's, you know, our target is the British record.
Jeffrey's found a great spot out there, just past the weed, pretty much where the fish were showing. Past the weed, onto a nice clear gravel spot, so fingers crossed, it gets us a bite, and hopefully very, very soon.
He likes everything to happen very, very soon, okay? So we're now a few days in, not catching a lot. Bobby's like, Ali, go and look elsewhere, so I'm going with a live sonar. Bobby's now just wound in, so if you pause it there, 1 second.
Bobby's now wound in. So this has happened over a few hours. We actually had a young lad, Leo, he came to the Essex show, real inspiration. He'd actually come to watch behind the scenes. He's in a wheelchair. We sort of all, everyone was helping him enjoy it. We were all under high stress now. So we're a few days into the shoot. We've only caught one underwater at this point. The pressure's building, and Bobby's becoming more and more desperate. Right? Bobby wants to catch. Bobby wants to catch every day. And as you can see now, Bobby has just wound in. Okay, we have been in this position since first light, pretty much stalking underwater. And our target was the British record, right? Imagine if you could have caught the British record carp underwater, right? That would be cool, okay? So Bobby's just wound in. Just play this on now. Bob's wound in. We're going to move. This is Bobby's spot. About 4.5 minutes before he wound in. Pause. Okay, so that fish was immediately recognised as this fish, and it was feeding on Bobby's spot. And that wasn't the only clip. It already started feeding a little bit further behind. But 4 minutes before Bobby wound in, that fish was doing it. Keep playing. So look, this is the important part. We obviously, you can see, oh, he's zooming in for it. Yeah, so yeah, this is the gill wrap, this part of the gill plate, okay? Very recognisable fish. So when I've watched this back, Luke said this is massive. He sent me the clip. So I've sent it to Paul, the owner, and I've said, Paul, do you recognise this fish? So this is in the middle of the stressful day, and within about 7.5 minutes, he sent this back and recognised it as this. So keep playing it out. Is this the rest? So this is it. So Bobby's rig was about, his hook bait was the other side of that carp's head. And it was coming in basically, having a mouthful, and then keep playing. It's eating. He's eating. The big, possibly, that was sick. If you pour, that was sick, by the way, that was 65 pounds, I think a couple of years before. And what's the British record, Lee, at the moment? It's para out of 69. Yeah, so that potentially could have been, and it's a male fish as well. So it is a male, isn't it, that fish? Yeah, so potentially it could have been a UK £70 mirror carp. Do we catch it later in the episode? I don't know. You'll have to wait and see. Okay? I don't know. But yeah, so the poignant thing to take from this little moment is you can sometimes be too patient, and you can definitely sometimes be too impatient. Because one of the things we learned from this trip, impatient is the word, sorry, excuse my English. One of the things this trip was in spring, fish are really mobile, and actually this fish, there was a lot of fish in this area. I was using some new high-tech thing on a boat where I was going over, even without the divers, and I had a live sonar, which Garmin had given me, which I could see even though there was no fish rolling in the area, it was alive with fish, but none of these fish were showing. Where on another part of the lake, the fish are leaping out constantly. You're seeing them, yet you'd think in this area there was no fish, but there was. And this live fish feeding sonar thing, you can even see the size of the carp and almost the shape of them. And I'm pretty sure when I look back at some of the video clips I recorded off that thing, I saw that thing on that sonar, because it was very long and very deep, and it's exactly a carp shape, and that sonar is like literally like seeing a real carp. Who thinks they've ever wound in, pulled the rig out the biggest carp at the lake's mouth? You'll never know, because unless you've got an underwater camera live, you'll never know. But I bet you every single person in this room who has fished has been a minuscule moment from absolute heroics without even realising. And they pack their rods away, blame their bait, blame the hook, blame the rig, themselves, blame life, gone home in a huff, kicked the cat, yeah? Blame the wife, yeah? Blame the weather. But this was it all gone quiet in the swim. There was nothing showing. And we thought there was nothing there, but there was. So there you go. A motto. Sometimes sit on your hands, and actually it's probably one of the most poignant things out of the whole show is that's the beauty of fishing. So even with all this technology and underwater cameras and divers, we've still made an absolute howler, haven't we? So there you go. Good clip, right? Bloody hell, that was close. Who thinks we catch it later in the episode? What? Do you reckon? Bloody hell. What, British record? That'd be good for the wand and the twig and the lock and the blah blah. Yeah, shame it went on the bait, wouldn't it, eh? That would be a game fair match, wouldn't it? I'll turn up in a Rolls Royce next year, no joking. We've got a lovely campaign coming, by the way, with a new car I've purchased. It's Italian and it's bright yellow, right? But it's not a Ferrari. Alright? So you remember this when you see it. Just think Mr. Bean. And we love it. And I'm gonna be taking customers with me in this brand new, it's not brand new actually. It's far from brand new. Right? I'm going to take customers with me on little adventures in this bright yellow Italian car. Anyone think that's good fun? On a road trip with me? Kids, don't put your hands up. You'd have to be accompanied with an adult, definitely. Yeah. Mainly for the car's safety. Not for me. I don't even think it's got airbags. I don't even think it's actually got a steering wheel, to be honest. No, it has got a steering wheel. Right then, next clip. I actually don't know. What does it say? Tell me the title of it again so I know what's coming up. That's not really that. Oh, yes. Okay. Now, before this plays, so this is live cam footage, as the gentleman has just described. This is where we actually put the cameras on Grenville. This was actually one of only 2 moments in this whole trip that I had fish in front of me. Both Bobby and I had rigs in the swim, but I describe it, I think I'll play it out. This is a moment where you get everything wrong rig-wise, where you've made totally the wrong decision from minute 1, because Grenville, and you'll realise why, because there's a clip later on that'll explain to you why I love using pop-ups at Grenville, big, stiff, sitting there proud pop-ups, right? But this is also to show you why you can't make the right decision every time with your rigs. And the fish often dictate, based on their mood in different moments, what happens. But this is some of the most emphatic activity we had on this whole trip. So watch it. Yeah, watch it. Otherwise I'll just keep talking. Yeah.
3 of them come at once. Look at me. 4. Go check your
These are all £30 as well, as a minimum.
Oh my God.
So if I pause it there, this is my pace bomb, and then I've got some ridiculously high 2-inch pop-up. And I think Bobby, keep playing. I think Bobby.
No, to the right bit.
So this is Bobby's spot, that's my spot.
Insane, this area.
Look at my haircut, fantastic hair. Yeah, Barber got sacked after that.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Pause it there, I'll show you, look. Can you see my pop-up in there? Keep playing. Look at this.
Surely one's gonna. They've got.
Who thinks they would have caught in this situation? Put your hands up. It's all the kids. Come on. You're doing the next underwater film. I'm sacking myself.
Beyond spectacular. Come on. Multiple fish. They are stockpiling to this corner of the lake on the live cams. Everything we dreamt of is unfolding before us. Good line. Good line. Straight to the top.
Look, you see? Look at the pace coming off the lead. Everyone laughed at me for using pace.
Look at that.
So that went on for a number of hours. Yeah, fish coming in out. And the ironic thing was, they were just going in. Even though there was a lot coming in, they weren't like smashing the bottom up, but at the same time they were taking mouthfuls. It was on a marginal slope. And honestly, the year before on the Grand Fishing Adventure, or 2 years before we did, Grenville, Bobby literally in that same area just underarmed a pop-up and threw a handful of boilies over it and he caught his PB. In almost exactly the same situation. So it just shows when it ain't quite right, and they'd gone, I think, they'd almost spawned the week before, the weather had turned, and it just wasn't quite happening. And I feel like if we'd just had it pop up slightly lower, we'd have probably got a bite if they'd stayed long enough. Next clip. Oh, now this is, okay, this leads on beautifully. Now, so you think, okay, I've put a pop-up on, now I've put a very similar rig, so a hinge, kickback links with a chods away, which is a ready tied chod end that we sell, which is a pop-up, squid goo pop-up, and this was the end of the football season. This will make sense in a minute. Bobby's had to leave the lake, so we pause it. Called it Super Sunday because Mr. Rue Abbott stepped in one corner. We've left now. This is a 70-acre lake. We've aborted where we are for the time being because the fish are all up the other end. It's like a chocolate milkshake. So I've gone drifting around with this sonar looking for fish, and they're splattering out all over at one end of the lake. And I use my human bait boat, so I come in, find the fish, all in this corner jumping out. Rue's on the other side, also having similar amount of activity. And if you play this scene out at the beginning, obviously now I feel like an absolute hero. So here's my pop-up, similar to what I was using in the other situation. Bush, thank you very much. Yes. I was in the swim. And we're off the underwater mark. Was it? Yeah. How long do you think I was? Because you were watching it unfold, Rue, didn't you? Because you felt quite bad because you'd been fishing all morning. No. On a serious note, you had been fishing all morning. Obviously, we saw later underwater you had your pants pulled down a lot.
Yeah, I suppose you were there about 15 minutes.
15 minutes from docking the boat to putting the rod out to hooking the fish.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, this is it. Right, okay, now, kid, if you play this, you'll see how many fish are showing in the area. You play it on. So this was the first fish we catch. There goes the human bait boat, taking my rig back out, placing it by hand in the. Look at these fish showing. Bosh. Poor bosh. This is what's going on underwater now. Watch this. Pause one. Right. Go on. No. Right. So there's my pop up. There's my pop up that just before it created the fish. Pause. Can you see what's happened? Anyone see what's happened? Not yet. Okay, so caught a fish, put the rig back out. Fish is still showing, everything's the same. Rewind a little bit. I want you to keep your eye on this pink. Pause there for a sec, see if I can see. Right, so everything's sweet. Fish have come straight back in, they've not been disturbed by the diver, the camera going back in. There's my big paste ball that I love around my lead to attract fish. I think that creates more disturbance, as in a good way. People think it looks cumbersome. I don't care what they think it looks like. The carp bloody love it, right? But Grenville is famed for having obviously a lot of big fish, and the very thing that is the great thing about it, the other thing it also has, it's got depth. It's very deep. There's also weeds, so you end up with undertow. Which, does anyone know what undertow is here? Are you sure you know what it is? I didn't know when I was your age. I did know what Liverpool was though, just like your shirt, right? You don't know what undertow is, but I like that you put your hand up. You almost knew. I'm going to tell you what it is. Undertow is the movement of water underwater, okay? So the wind could be going one way, but the tow underwater is a different direction, okay? Now what that does is when you've got molecules, whether it's weed that's floating around, it will drift along the bottom, it will just float around. Now the very say things that we're trying to catch. If we play this now, my pop-up's there. Look, they've just shook its tail. It shakes its tail. And it now, if you play it on extended, look, can you see it? It's covered my pop-up. Look, there's fish trying to suck my pop-up through a weed, but they can't get to the bait. Now, I've done nothing wrong. It was on a clear spot, but the fish, my hook is now masked by weed. Look, look, see the weed on the hook? So it was and that was a hook that was hand placed onto clear gravel. But actually, fish feeding have now, what they've done, they have literally taken it. You saw how quickly I got a bite. That went on. I'll tell you how long that went on for. So I've caught a fish in 15 minutes. I've sat there, put the rod back out. They've kept showing. They've kept showing. And like you would, you think you're going to get a bite any second. That went on for nearly 2 to 3 hours. Bobby had come back from doing Sky commentary, yeah, back to the lake. He knew I'd caught one. He sat behind me, and what was happening by about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, 6:30, they would drift out of the margins and they'd go back, float around in the lake. So I said, in that instance, I was really patient, but too patient, because I should have, as an angler, looking back, I should have realised you've had a bite within 15 minutes, and now you've got the same amount of fish activity over you, the same amount, the bait, everything's the same, and now you haven't had a bite, so what's going on? They're still jumping out. I should have known, which is what my adage when I go to Grenville now is, if you think you should have had a bite, you probably should have, so just wind in and redo it. Because basically, something's happened, and I know at Grenville a lot of times if you look on the YouTube films, even recently when I went there, you could have 4 rods out, and I might get bites on 3 of them, and one of them doesn't go. You redo that one, it goes straight away. So you've seen on one hand, Bobby's situation where we could call it impatience, and on this hand, I've been too patient. So I don't know what the answer is, but that's what comes with experience, and it's really hard. Even when I watch you back, I think, why didn't you redo it? Because you've just caught one, so you're just expecting to get that bite, and it doesn't happen. So who likes to just leave them out and forget about them? You did. Now I tell a lot of members that grow up at Grenville, I tell them, I say, honestly, you really need them pop-ups on, because that weed, that tumbling weed, just drifting around the lake, it's only a little ball, but one carp feeding nearby, not even near it, it's just one fan of the tail, and that's one of the big reasons now why I use that paste around the lead. Anyone who likes solid bags here? Yeah. Who thinks theirs is a solid bag once a carp's come near it after like one visit? So why do we chuck them out? As in, it's a genuine question. Why do you put them out?
They cut the fish anyway. Know your rig is set.
Yeah. So you know it's not tangled.
You know it's not tangled and it sits right. But then obviously, in our situation over there, fish comes along, boom, and it's gone. So you're in the same boat.
Yeah. So in effect, why don't you just chuck a single hook bait out with foam on it with a stiff hook link?
Well, yeah, it's just the same.
It is, but that's what does now the paste around the lead make sense. If you like solid bags and the concept of what it brings to your swim, as in little ball, sounds amazing, doesn't it? In theory, you melt it in a tank, all these pellets and your little pop-up or hook bait sticking out. Even 2 bream coming near it and just giving it some of that, it's no longer a solid bag. It's got one chance at catching you a fish. After that, it's a single hook bait with some pellets spread around, and then it progressively gets worse and worse until it becomes just a single hook bait. Yeah, which is still cool if there's fish nearby.
Yeah.
But the key thing, that's why now, even if I use solid bags, just get some paste and wrap a bit around your lead, and then push some of your pellets into it, and you will know, at the very least, even 24 hours later, you still have a really soluble source of attraction pumping out. So that solid bag is still principally performing like that solid bag, probably even more so because a lot of pellets have oil solubility. So fish don't know they're there until they actually eat them. So all the pellets we love, fish love them because they've often been reared on them, or they eat them, and then after they've eaten them, they're like, well, that was nice. Yeah, that was a really nice meal. But until then, they don't know they're there. That's why a lot of, you'll see me always glugging my stuff in really water-soluble stuff. The hook baits are very acidic or alkali, pH changing. And the paste, the reason boilies were invented was because paste was really good, but the problem was it got whittled off the hook. So the OMC bait we're developing on now that is actually, a lot of it is looking evolutionary, not revolutionary, from what I've learned doing a lot of underwater filming, so that the fish detect food in your swim at all times, not just when they've eaten it. There's a big difference. There's a lot of bait we use, they know it becomes good once they've eaten it. But there's a lot of bait we use that fish don't actually, scientifically, they can't detect it's there. They can see it, but they don't necessarily know it's food. It's like, would you go and eat that speaker? But some of you might just go and chew it if you were drunk, right, for a laugh. Yeah, you might just chew it for a laugh, right? That's often the thing is with carp. They're very inquisitive creatures. I've seen carp from trees suck on Coke cans. Now, did the Coke can smell of Coke? I don't mean that type of right. It took it out of inquisition. Maybe the colour, bright, vibrant red. Maybe like this Coca-Cola symbol. Fantastic brand. But they're very inquisitive carp. And fish are quite predatory. Like they've got a predatory nature to them, especially carp. You know, they will be aggressive. But if you can get solubility, so your bait actually is acting like bait, your hook bait's got to be the best thing in the swim, and then if you're fishing, if you like solid bags, having that bit, even a little bit of paste around your lead in your solid bag, along with the rest of your pellets, I think will make your solid bag fishing 200% better. So if you're a solid bag angler, try it. We all use little leads, don't we? You could easily mould a little bit of paste around that inline, and I can guarantee you will make that area of that solid bag more attractive for longer, so that if you are really patient, you leave the rig out for longer, or if not, with solid bags you need to be really busy and redo them regularly. What's that? Paste on lead. Bloody hell, it's like it all, somehow I've rehearsed this and I haven't. Okay, so this is where I took a right, I mean, I know you all know I take a right beating on social media anyway from people, right? But God, I put this picture out, so this is at the height of the hatred towards the twig, right? Now I've got a twig on and a bloody massive ball of paste wrapped around my leg. It looked like a nuclear bomb on the end of my line. But I think this is, if you play this out, I remember, now this is with the wand, so probably more accepted on the eye. But this, stop it there, that's mainline ISO sweeper, pure boilie paste, so before it's boiled. And that was where boilies, paste used to be so good, so attractive, but then we realised, fish whittle it away, as I was going on about, and stopped probably talking about that. So we boiled them to give them a skin. The only thing you need to be resilient in your swim is your hook bait. The rest of it needs to be soluble and draw attention to the area of your hook and bait, and it doesn't even matter if it's on the lead. If you play this out, now the underwater divers have gone back, if we pause it here, they've now been studying a lot of the footage we've been doing over the last 2 years, and they said the only swim they see the fish come in, even if all the bait's gone, where the gills are still going and the fish are really excited, they say is the swim with the paste on the lead. No matter what the water temperature, their gills are still going, they're still stimulated. So play it out. So there's me hook bait, gooed up, but it's been out for ages now. bloody paste on my leg. But it's still eating something.
Yeah. Go on, mate. Go on, mate. Turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around. Eat that pink thing, eat that pink thing, eat that pink bit of tiger nut. Eat it through the rocks. No, he's nowhere near it. Technically, it's 25 centimetres away. Come on, come on, turn around. Oh, no, he's on the rock behind. He's very close to the hook bait. He's very close. He's on a run. Next one's the hook bait. And, go on, mate.
This is now put balls of paste out. But these are single fish coming in.
Oh no, now he's sucking the leg. Wow. There you go. He loves that paste. Look at
They're
that.
eating tigers a lot and they eat paste a lot. Now tigers have a really very soluble sugar that comes out of them, right? Even though tiger nuts seem really solid to us, they're one of the most soluble things that release in and out. If you skin a tiger nut, like take a bit of the orbit out, it will absorb flavour quicker than anything. So the movement in and out of the tiger nut of water is really important to remember. That's why when we soak them to swell them, and then we boil them, right? So tigers they love, and a lot of people say it's because they're crunchy. Actually, that is one reason. They love the sound of them. Crunchiness must be, I'm not carp, but I guess we like crunching on crisps and stuff. The other thing is that natural sugar that comes out of the tiger nut is so water soluble. It's so recognised, and actually as anglers, if I just gave you a tub of boiled tigers, then I gave you a tub of pineapple pop-ups, I know what 100% of you would pick. We all love a pineapple pop-up, right? But a tub of plain tigers, it's a nut, right? I'll tell you what the fish love more. Lee? Yes, but why do they love them, Lee, do you reckon? Lee doesn't know. I don't blame no, they just like them. They do like them, yeah. But a lot of it is, a lot of the reasons fish like things are more than one initial factor. They're layered. And a tiger is actually a very complex thing that works with water very well. But so does paste. And as you saw there, if you watch that, you just rewind that back a bit. So when that OMC bait comes out, I want you to remember some of these conversations and know the depth of thought that goes into it. So when you just see a round ball, remember that there's a lot of deep thought that's gone into trying to create a boilie that has the impact the paste had. Okay? Because most boilies will not have that impact. But that's cell paste. So that's cell paste unboiled that I made little round balls of and put out there. And when it was really crap, they still went and ate stuff. So think about that. Paste and solubility is your friend. And the colder the water temperature, the more important it is. But yeah. And look at what it's created in the swim. Look at all that. It's amazing, isn't it? You know, just a ball of paste breaking down over time. Next clip. Spy camera picky eater, right? I think that's the last clip, isn't it? Spy cam then picky eater, right? I can't remember what spy cam was. Yeah. Go on. Yes.
Spy cam footage from my left-hand rod, which is down in the margin. It's unbelievable footage.
Can you all hear all right?
There's a big pack of carp that come in, hoover up a few bits of bait, and then shoot off. So often, so close. And it makes you think, do I need to put that much bait out? Am I trying to set just a little tiny trap? Or am I just going to play the waiting game, big bed of bait, and this big pack will eventually come across it. Unfortunately, we don't fish at night. I'm pretty sure they would have taken my bait. Great to see them.
If we pause there, yeah, to touch this hook bait. So, me and Bobby, Rule knows where we often have big debates in the tent about quantities of bait. Now, when underwater filming, I like the safeguard. Solid, not too much bait to get a bite. Bobby would put out 19 buckets of bait if he could, and go for the hope card that they'll just hoover up everything. And he catches fish when we've done it, but I think from venue to venue varies greatly, and from water temperature and day to day it will vary greatly. Now, Bobby ends up getting a bite on this rod later on at night. We do eventually in this show fish into the dark to see. But in the daytime, there's two things I think, when I study this footage back, there's two things. You've one got that snowman, which I love a snowman rig, but when the fish are not quite really having it, there's quite a lot of choices. The buffet theory, you can see there's corn there, there's tiger nuts, there's boilies, then he's got a hook bait that's wobbling like that. I love a pop-up, but now I've started to really overweight my pop-up. So when I say that, I like it all static, yeah? So the pop-up's sitting solid but not moving too much. And the same with snowmen. I think in the clearer the water, the more, I don't think they're scared of cutting to have high visuals blown. I really don't think that. I think carp really love colour. I think the thing they'll find weird, if I was a creature trying to get my head into the mind of a carp, I think if they're coming in and there was something waving there and all the other food was static, I'd either think, I want to eat that, so it could work for you or it could work against you. Like, it would be a reason to not take it because they might be scared of it, just from like a wild instinct of a fish, okay? So it's no coincidence that Bobby ended up getting a bite on this spot in the dark. But they probably couldn't see that thing moving. They just ate and then he got a bite. So Bobby's talking about the amount of bait, okay, which is one theory. Could he have created more and more stimulation with more and more food? But I kind of felt like there was enough attention here. So if the hook bait was desirable enough, that could have been taken first ahead of everything. I certainly don't think more bait. Who thinks more bait would have got more activity? Can you just play it back a bit if you want? You can just see this clip. That's probably a good, I'd say that's good for Bobby, half a kilo is not a lot. For me, underwater filming, I like a couple of scoops, which is probably like a quarter of a kilo. Look, that fish touches that way. It's moving. Doesn't really take it with any confidence, you know. Just as a lot of people laugh, but they do genuinely mouth your hook bait. Does it play on any more of that clip?
None of them have taken my hook bait in their mouth and got away with it. So there is.
But it didn't take any of them boilies that confidently either. See that? It sort of hit the bottom, but just sort of didn't. And this leads on to the final clip, isn't it? And this is the shoot that I did with Rue, which is the first episode of the series. This is at Chase Lakes in March. Very cold, or getting colder. Now, the way fish feed is I find it fascinating. A lot of times, I think, when they're mowing the bottom up, they're eating everything, it's easy. Like, we'll catch on anything. But there's other times where that choice of hook bait is so critical. And we all know, it was changing every day though, wasn't it, mate? On a genuine level, it was each day. So one day you think, oh, they're going to start eating. But if we play this out, this was a clip off social media. Right, so I've got bait all bobbing here. You see the paste around my leg. Look at the fish's mouth. It's quite a big one, isn't it? Look, but it's not eating anything. It's just touching the bottom. Just look, a few maggots, spitting the crumb out. They're not got their mouths in the bottom, even with maggots, which we think, oh, carp love. There's Rue's face. You don't see his teeth here. Now, pause there. So, I decided after a few days in the end, this was watching a spot of mine and Rue's live cam, that these fish are barely touching the bottom. And I really needed, I thought, a tiny hook bait that would allow the hook to lay flat, be really aggressive. I mean, that's a size 2 hook, and that's the new escargot we've released, which is, I mean, that's a little fake maggot. So it gives you an idea of how, it looks like a pretty crude rig, doesn't it? But if you play this out now, look. So, this got audio, this one, I think. So look, pause it there. look, it's sitting up, but you see it's not waving. So that's quite an important point now. So there's maggots about still, there's crumb, there's tiger nuts, you've got the thing on the lead. But this time, we play it out. Watch, pause there. There you go. See how the hook's laying lovely and flat. There's the long legs aligner, which I love, it extends the shank. Very aggressive, tiny hook bait, massive hook. Yeah? So you've got a hook bait that's probably, I'd say, 10 mil in total with a size 2 hook. To most people that would seem madness, wouldn't it? Like big disproportionate size. But it's almost so perfectly balanced that even with the way these fish were feeding, play on. Watch it flip and turn, that lock hook, bang, ta-da. There's me in shock. We're bloody got a bite, so that's the, yeah, play on that, that's showing you everything closer. These are just phone shots I took at the time. It shows you just tiny little tweaks, bit of foam. All my foam I soak in goo, water soluble. I've got some liquids we've been working on ourselves now, which again, you can see, look how aggressively that, you almost, if you rewind that, look how the hook, I love watching these replays. Watch how this lock hook and the long legs, look at the mechanics, look how it flips upward, bang! See it, goes up and round, yeah. But it's even, if that was, again, it's fed exactly like the fish had been on our spot. It doesn't, that fish, even if that was just freebie, that fish I don't think would have ever carried on. It's going to hit a flint anyway, its head. But that's how they were feeding, weren't they, Roo? Just very gentle, never really hoovering, never getting the head into the deck. But that's where you got the pace, I think, for me, and that's blend coated braid, it's not. That's when it was really, you can play it on if you want. Yeah.
The life jacket, get the life jacket.
This is being full panic mode now.
Here is a god.
There's his teeth. Why them teeth? Look. Come back. We've been talking about colours and attraction. Now, if you look there, someone shine the torch the other way, shine around the other way. Look. So Roo Abbott, he's going to become a TV star, isn't he? He's lovely to work with, and I think if there was a symbol of this talk, it's about being attractive, soluble, and a little bit shiny. All right? There you go. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope I've not bored the living short.